How's it going? It is Mythos, and you might be getting sick of me saying this now because I've made 2 videos already from this, but I was at the Most Haunted stage show live recently, and the first part of the show was them showing us clips and just talking about them. Now, I used to watch the show religiously, but I stopped watching before they started putting stuff out on YouTube. So when they were showing some clips, I was like, whoa, hang on a minute, I have not seen these ones, and some of them were crazy. The one that really got my attention was about a supposed haunted doll that spontaneously combusted and burst into flames. Yes, you heard me right. A haunted doll caught on fire by itself. I've got to look into that one, haven't I? So I went and found the episodes, and they did a great job of pulling this off, to be fair. It's quite believable that they weren't actually in on it and the doll just set on fire. But I think I can break it down how I think they pulled it off, because I can see quite a few holes in the editing. In my opinion, it's not a haunted doll. I don't believe in them for a second, and I don't think it got set on fire by some kind of spirits, right? So they're at Codnor Castle Cottage in Derby. They say they got this doll sent to them as they were asking at the time to send in your haunted objects. So they said, with this being the next location, let's try taking the doll, because apparently there's spirits of children in the attic. On the stage show, they said,
what we expected for the doll to be captured was for it to move. That's why we put the GoPro in front of it. Yeah. The last thing we expected was it to go up into flames.
And I'm just calling BS on that, because look at this brilliant wide camera angle here when Yvette is talking about the doll. If that was the camera angle that the show uses, that would be great. We can see everything. But no, because like I say, you can pretty much see the whole room, so they're not going to be able to pull off this trick. So they use this little camera and place it right in front of the doll, blocking out the whole right hand side of the room and the whole area behind the wall. And the doll is raised about a foot off the floor because she stood on this brick, and this brick actually has quite a little bit of room behind it. So a very well positioned doll and camera to pull off some paranormal activity. And the next thing I noticed about this setup is they turn off the lights, and then look at this. There's a light on the doll producing a harsh shadow of it onto the right hand side, and now it's also blacking out this whole room behind it. Think in case, you know, any shadows or anything get cast over there somehow when someone who pulls this off is trying to escape. But that's not the side they're going to use to pull this off. It's on the right side that's out of the shot of the camera. So to make you believe that the doll is haunted, they show how their dog reacted to it. And dogs just react weird sometimes. It's probably thinking, why are you shoving this in my face? What is it? Why does it look creepy? Why is this little girl not moving? Also, to prep you into believing the attic is haunted, they have a heavy metal object thrown at them from a supposed ghost.
Towards this window. Ah! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
What is it?
Carl, no!
I was acting.
Then, of course, Carl walks up the stairs from the direction that the object came from. Later on in the investigation, they go to the attic again, and they have some old coins thrown at them, seemingly appearing out of thin air.
Oh my god!
A common thing for Most Haunted, but not any other paranormal investigators in the world. So then, even later, Stuart and Fred are in the attic, and the doll mysteriously sets on fire. Now, I'm going to show you me recreating this, how I think they did it, but first, let's take a look.
I honestly, Fred, I didn't expect all this activity. I know stuff was going to go on, but not to this level. No way. The doll's on fire! The doll's on fire!
Now, the great thing they did to try and obviously show that none of them were involved in it, and to make us believe that it's real, is they show multiple camera angles of where people was at. The one we want to focus on, though, is the one of Stuart and Fred actually in the attic. And so look, so they come in through this attic door, and if we look at the others' viewpoint when they come up, the next door you see is this one here, into the main attic room where the doll is. So if someone's going to sneak out, they're going to have to sneak out of this door and then through the main door. So if we jump back to Stuart's camera, he walks through that door backwards and then points the camera to this side here, aiming at the wall, not aiming it into the room. Why would you do that? Very bad camera work. And Stuart is actually quite good at getting shots usually. So to me, this says that he's done this on purpose to hide whoever has just set the doll on fire. My theory is that he's just done it, gone this way here around Stuart, out of the door, which you can't see from the doll's camera because they've cut that side away. Hey, this is Editing Mythos, and I think as I was just editing the video there, adding in an arrow, I actually added in an arrow right the way over the top of somebody. I think I've just found who it is and where they're hiding. So, as I was saying, I think someone's doing the fire on the doll over here and they were going to exit the room. So Stuart walked into the room filming the ceiling or the wall, whatever this is. And then he walks in, and I thought the guy was obviously behind the wall here doing the doll, and he was going to come out this way and go past them. But I think he's mistakenly stayed there for too long, maybe not wanting to get in shot coming over here. We can see this part is totally blocked out here. And now this is just a pillar coming down and a wall. But look, there's something totally blocking out that there. And I don't think it's because Stuart walks into the room and perspective makes whatever that is go behind the wall. I think it's someone moving out of the way. Just focus on this guy here. What I think is a guy here. Ready? There. And he's moving out of the way. Gone. There, gone. Totally gone. Still see him a little bit there. Gone. Ready? Big hunchback. His head's probably there, still bending down at the doll. Gone. So, Fred comes in here, and he goes to go there. Look, he's seen him. He has seen him, and he might have been heading around that way. But he sees his friend, so he cuts this way quickly. Why would you not just enter the room and walk straight over this way? He was headed this way, just like he did here earlier in the night, and he actually gets pushed through that way. So then later he tries to go that way again, and then he cuts across this way to get in front of Stuart. Now is the time for their friend to come this way and get out of the way. Boom, he's not there. And I will examine all of the footage from the inside of the room that I can to see if there is anything back there, but I don't think I'm going to find anything. I think that is their friend. And I did look at all of the shots I could like this. I was trying to look for some kind of object. You can see nothing really behind Fred there, but for the sake of full transparency, I did find this shot here where they enter around the side, and I see that wall. Could it be that wall? It looks like it's kind of someone bent over, like an arched back. Do you think it was that in the distance? And it was looking like it was moving because Stuart walked into the room? I'm not too sure, but I'm just going to add that in anyway so you can just see my thoughts on the both kind of options of the thing. Now, they do later mention about charges in the doll, and hey, it could be that easy and nothing like I'm thinking. I mean, if we do slow it down, the flames start at the doll's far right leg as we look at it, and they appear big. So I don't know. Let's take a look at my recreation and see how it compares. But first, I need a doll. And I'm not setting my little girl's doll on fire, so I'm going to go and get one. So to recreate this, I've let it get dark because I want to get the recreation as accurate as possible, but I'm not doing it in my attic because I don't want to set the house on fire. As you can see down here, next to the infamous haunted shed, some of you may know about that. But I've got my brick set up, which is just a cardboard box here, and we've got the wall behind the box that they had and a gap this side. And here's my camera, what I'm going to be using. I'm cutting out all of this side here. I've got the light here here, which is shining from this way, creating a shadow here. So anything I do here, if there's shadows, will not be in the shot of the camera. So I can come from behind the box here, set it alight without being seen. Okay, so we're all set up. I've got the camera rolling. I've got the light on shining this direction. I've got one chance at this, haven't I? And that is another thing as well. I think they have prepped this up before doing it as a test shot. Because if you look at the placement of when she puts the doll down, the camera is already set up in the right position, like not cutting the doll's head off or anything like that. So let's give it a go. Now, the first thing I noticed when comparing them both is look at the size of their flames and how fast it arised. My little tiny one down here and their full-size flame as big as the doll. And they both started at the feet at the same time. But look at the flash of theirs, how it starts. Boom! A big flame. That is crazy. So something is going on down there. Look at my teeny tiny one just setting it alight. You can actually see through the doll, it's burning that bright. And if we look at the inside of the doll, because they showed us it later, it is actually hollow. So does that have something to do with it lighting up so fast? Look, we can see that foot is not getting affected. It's this foot here where it's starting from. Something is happening there. You can see these images both actually look pretty much similar. The flames are both starting from the right foot. The flames are both on the right side of the dolls because it happened on the same side. So I've kind of nailed it, but something is a little bit different. But it's starting from this point 100%. So with that quick bursting up into flames at the start there, way quicker than mine did. Hey, maybe it was a charge like the supposed skeptic said he looked for.
I'm looking for obvious signs of tampering to see if anybody's put any charges in or anything. There's no signs of that.
Or maybe it was demons, because after all, they got it tested, right?
Yeah, we had the Cheshire Fire and Rescue Service. Had a full analysis. They had the doll and the jacket for 3 months in total. And at the end of the show, if you've seen the whole show, he actually, the inspector says at the end that after their full inspection of it, an investigation into what could have caused it, he actually said there's no accelerant used. There's no ignition point, so as far as they're concerned, the cause of the fire is unknown.
Thank you for calling Cheshire Fire and Rescue Service. Press 2 for reception. Thank you for calling Cheshire Fire and Rescue Service.
Well, it's a good job there's not a fire. No, of course, I was just calling the reception desk there, which you can get off their website. But no answer twice, so who knows whether that story is true.
Yeah, we had the Cheshire Fire and Rescue Service, the doll and the jacket, for 3 months in total.
So who knows? Maybe it was a ghost after all. I think if it was some kind of charge, you maybe would have been able to see it more. Because if you look at the slow-mo shots from the back of the doll, which we can just see, there doesn't seem to be kind of any explosion or anything there, but what's confusing to me is how fast it goes up in flames. I mean, compared to mine, that is crazy. So whether the rear of the doll is doused in something, I don't know, or whether the clothes on that doll is way more flammable than the clothes that were on mine. Could be just anything like that, but either way, I think that it's not spirits and there was some tampering going on. The weird positions of the camera angles, the weird position of Stuart coming in with his camera angle, hiding the room, creating dark shadows where people could hide. It just all doesn't make sense to me. Would you not have just used this nice big wide camera angle to capture the whole room? This is a common occurrence with Most Haunted.
And the edge of the cross, exactly, so we can tell if it's moved even a few millimetres. If it does move, it will be paranormal.
It does move, it will be paranormal.
Anything they try and capture, some movement or anything, they put the camera as close up as possible as they can get, which just adds in the possibility of fakery. If you're really trying to get people to believe that something has just moved by itself, we need a wide camera angle so we can see that there's no one there messing with it. But hey, then there's also other possibilities that they can do, like string or air blowers and so on and so on. I just don't believe anything that comes from this show anymore. And when I did used to believe it, I believed everything. I was about 9. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think of this haunted doll and its setting on fire. Pretty crazy. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for sticking around. Drop a like for me literally burning money. Subscribe if you're not already because it's absolutely free, and I will see you in the next one.